What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sunny Brooks. If you're new here, welcome. Today I'm talking about our intuition and trusting our intuition. It took me a minute to record this video because I have this idea or this thought when it comes to intuition, which I'll share with you all. But today's video is going to be about trusting your intuition and how to trust your intuition, and I'll give you some exercises. But this is the disclaimer that I want to say about intuition. Sometimes we cannot trust our intuition how we think we can. I believe that sometimes we cannot trust our intuition how we think we can, because sometimes we don't know how to differentiate our subconscious programming and our actual intuition. I believe that we are conditioned by society to think a certain way, to do a certain thing, or to move a certain way. And sometimes we think that's our intuition. So we may say, hey, I need to lose weight. Let's use that for example. Hey, my intuition is telling me I need to lose weight. But you are healthy, you look good, you feel good. But you may have seen many advertising on social media, on billboards. You may have seen all of these thin-figured models and things like that. So this subconscious programming is there. So you feel as if it is your intuition that's telling you to lose weight, but it may not be your intuition. It may be the subconscious programming that has happened. So I believe that we cannot trust our intuition as much as we think we can, because sometimes it is not our intuition. Sometimes it is programming or conditioning to think and believe this way. I know that's just one example, but I'm sure you could think about some things that society makes us feel like we have to do or we should be doing, and sometimes we psych ourselves out and say that it's our intuition that's making us, and that's not necessarily true. So that's my disclaimer. I want us to when we're thinking about trusting our intuition and increasing our intuition, the muscle, because I believe it's like a muscle, I want you to learn how to differentiate if it's really your intuition or if it's what the world wants you to think, because that programming can be very, very strong. So now when it comes to trusting your intuition, I believe it's like a muscle. The more you trust it, the more you work with it, the more you build it, the stronger it becomes, right? So I believe the more you actually listen to it or say yes to your intuition, the more it's going to keep repeating itself, right? So if it tells you, hey, stay home, you probably shouldn't go there, and you never listen to it, that voice or that feeling is going to become faint, or it's going to be so faint because you are not used to listening to it, or it's going to disappear. And when I say disappear, I don't mean it would never come to you. It's just something that comes to you, but you don't even pay it attention, so it's not even there at that point. Hopefully that makes sense. But the more you actually prove to your intuition that you are listening, you appreciate, you accept what it's saying, then you can increase it, if that makes sense, right? Hopefully, because I don't want this to be one of those cliche intuition videos oh, do this, but listen, at the end of the day, I feel like the more you work with your intuition, the stronger it gets. That is how. The more you work with it, the more you listen to it, the stronger it gets. Yes, you can do certain things, but those are all practices and activities that cause you to work with it more, to get familiar with it. You have to get familiar with the voice, with the feeling, with the physical changes or whatever when your intuition is speaking. The more you are familiar with it, you know when it's speaking and you know when to listen to it. Some things that I encourage you to do is writing. If you're journaling or if you're just writing, let's say whatever you're writing, how about get out of your brain? If you just write whatever comes up, that's one of the things that you can start to do. that allows you to really listen in past your mind. And it may be your heart speaking, but sometimes some people say their heart and your intuition are the same. But anyways, your intuition will reveal itself if you give it room to, right? But when you're writing, just write and script in a way that you're not thinking about it, even if it doesn't make sense. Even drawing, right? Drawing, painting, art. I always tell people that is one way to really boost your intuition. Like, truly, like, when you're, like, say if you're painting, just pick whatever color. Don't try to say, oh, this doesn't go, or this doesn't look nice, or anything like that. Just do whatever you're being led to do. Whatever you're being guided to put on the canvas, do that. You can also do like divination, so different like card readings, pendulums, and things like that, and what comes up after that. Yes, it can be downloads from the spiritual world, from your ancestors, from spirit. It can be information from that, but this gives you the opportunity to listen to something other than your brain for a second, right? It gives you something to listen to the nudges, or it gives you something to truly hone into, because sometimes we operate so much out of our brain and so much out of our mind because we're just constantly doing. We don't know how to be, and in order for our intuition to speak, and in order for our intuition to truly come to us and come to us strong, we have to be sometimes. We have to cut off the outside noises. We have to turn off the outside distractions in order for your intuition to really speak to you. But you could do divinations, you could do the drawing, you could do the writing. You could also do, like, when you're getting dressed in the morning, just put on whatever you're being guided to. Don't think too much about it. When we think so much, when we think deep into things, when we really, really try to dive deep into them, I believe we are going the opposite way of our intuition. So if something is like, just put on this thing, and you're like, wait, I wore that 2 days ago. It's okay, just put it on. Put it on. Or it may say like, oh, put on these sneakers, and you like, wait, we normally don't wear sneakers. Put on the sneakers because you don't know what's gonna happen today, and then you like, oh snap, it rained, and it wasn't even like forecasted to rain. That's why I was told to put on sneakers, because you want to be outside in sandals with your feet wet and stuff. So when I say these things come up, listen to them. When you're at a grocery store, granted, I be feeling like the ancestors be coming through and they be like, grab that, but that is still listening to something other than your brain. If it doesn't make sense to your brain, do it. That's how I like to say it, because if we're trying to rationalize everything, analyze everything, we are operating out of our physical brain and not our spiritual brain. And that spiritual brain leads us to the spiritual realm, and it's also where our intuition lives, I believe. So do the things that doesn't make sense sometimes. Do the things, I'm not saying put your life at jeopardy or put your life at risk or anybody else, but do the things that sometimes just doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't have to make logical sense for it to be right, because it will reveal itself, right? It will eventually reveal itself. If it comes to cooking, like that, put a little this, put a little that. I never cook the same way, and I believe it's also my ancestors, but I also believe that it is me. It's my intuition putting what is needed in the food at that moment, because what I put in the spaghetti this week may not be the spaghetti I make 2 weeks from now. I may put basil in this week. Next time I make it, I may not put basil, but something in my body or something in my energetic field needs basil, so I'm gonna put basil, right? That is a part of trusting your intuition and really leaning in on something that is guiding you outside of your logical brain. Those are some examples. I'm sure I could sit here and come up with like, oh, say these affirmations, do these meditations, ask for this. Yes, you could do all of those things. Yes, you could do meditations. Yes, you could say affirmations and say, you know, I listen to my intuition. My intuition guides me and never leaves me wrong. You know, you could say things like that. But the ultimate end thing that I would say is to really trust that inner nudge. Trust that inner feeling, that gut feeling, what you may call it. Maybe that little whisper, that extra push, that little when your stomach turns and you like something don't feel right, something don't seem right. Those are the things that you just listen to. Take that one time, listen to it, and the next time it'll be easier. I didn't say easy. It'll be easier to listen to it because it has proved itself right to you. So in the physical, it's easier to trust your intuition once you have done so already. But when your intuition feels like it could speak to you and you will actually listen, it will continue to come when it's necessary, if that makes sense. Y'all let me know if y'all have any questions about trusting your intuition, and really think truly about intuition and conscious and subconscious programming and conditioning, because this is something I've been sitting with for some time about, can we truly trust our intuition? Because we may think it's our intuition, but it may not be. It may be the programming of society. It may be the things that we have seen other people do, so now we feel like it's ours. Like if we see everybody making mimosas for brunch, right? And you like, yeah, I'm being led. Like my intuition telling me I need to make mimosas for brunch. If you just saw 30 people making mimosas in a course of a week, maybe it is not your intuition. Maybe it is a programming or a conditioning that's already in you that now you feel like, oh, I'm being led to. Are you being led to, or are you just being conditioned to, and you are saying it's your intuition because you just don't remember or feel safer saying, oh, my intuition led me to? Because I could think of some things that I have done and thought it was my intuition, but it wasn't. It was some conditioning or some things that society told me I should be doing, or society told me that this is the right thing to do. So I absorbed this growing up, or I absorbed this for however long, and then I started doing these things, but it wasn't working. So I'm like, why would my intuition lead me wrong? Why would this not work? My intuition told me to do it. Surprise, it wasn't my intuition. So when I say that sometimes we can't trust our intuition how we think we can, this is what I mean. But y'all drop a comment below and let me know if y'all have any questions about intuition, or what do y'all think about trusting our intuition? Do y'all think we can always trust it? Until we meet again, I'll see you next time. I love you. Bye.